They took my camera, my lens, so many other things. It was crazy. Nearly killed me in front of your studio, my guy.
It's supposed to be serious stuff.
Black males wearing full black tracksuits, balaclavas, black gloves. Both males were around 5'10" and slim build. They both had Rambo knives concealed up their sleeves. The stolen camera was
As he was about to stab me again, I hit the camera in his face, the whole shoulder rig, the lens, and the Ninja V in his face, and the knife literally passed. So I recently got robbed in southeast London, and think about this, right? After robbing me, I decided to run with my backpack, and then the car that the guys was in start chasing me, shouting, backpack, 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 and I was like, nah. I had to run, and then luckily I escaped, and then the police came, looked for the guys, and we could not find them. So they took my camera, they took my monitor, basically the whole shoulder rig that I had on me. And the only thing that saved me, I would say, is God, because honestly, after thinking about everything, it was crazy. Because you know, when you watch those videos on Instagram and you see someone running and people chasing them with Rambo knives, that was me, only because I woke up that day and decided, listen, there's a project that I go hired to do, and I went to do it. And honestly, in this video, I'm going to share the whole story, how I kind of like think that was a setup because something was not adding up, and maybe share a few things that I have learned. So this is the story. Also, the craziest thing about this is that the camera that's supposed to be robbed was my red Helium 8K, which I shot with the previous day, because when I got robbed was the last day of a 2 or 3 day shoot. And then again, God is always there to protect me, and less talk. So I was hired to do like a music documentary. The lady was releasing a song, and she contacted me, hey, by the way, I will try and put all the conversation me and her, so you can also go through them and see. And she says, hey, I've seen your YouTube videos. Do you also do filming? I'm like, yes, I'm a DP director. Cool. We spoke about the rate, everything. And then I noticed that when it comes to filming, she picks the time that's very late in the evening. And honestly, I was like, hey, why do you tend to pick evening? Because I don't feel safe traveling with my cameras at night, because there's so many things that might happen. And she was like, okay, I'll try to reschedule it. So it was 2 or 3 days shoot, and the first day we went and filmed the story of her talking about the song. So day 1 went perfectly fine. We did all the questions, she answered them correctly or the best way she could. We did all the pickup shots, the B-roll, and basically every other thing that we could do or that we planned to do on the first day. And the second day meant to be in the studio, and that studio is We Link Studio, Elderton Road. And honestly, the second day as well, I went to the studio, and as I go to the studio, you know, like the studio has so many people coming in and out. And I noticed that every time when I was actually filming or holding the camera outside, people would look at me, and then, you know, like people come into the studio, they might have messaged their friend as, oh, there's someone filming here with a red. Luckily, we go inside the studio, and then I did everything that I supposed to be doing inside the studio, and it was great. And I did order an Uber. I literally went from the studio inside the Uber, and I went home. Comes tomorrow, she messaged me, hey, I still need to have a few things that I want to film. Do you mind filming them? Honestly, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I've actually finished everything. I'm actually cutting the piece right now, and I have everything I need. But obviously, me being me, I'm like, that is fine. So she had in mind getting a shot of her driving into the studio, right? And then in my head, that shot was not really needed. But again, client is always right. It's her making of the song, and my goal as a filmmaker is to basically bring everything that she think about or everything that she envisioned to life. So on that day, I said, cool, since I'm filming tomorrow, I'm going to take all my V-mount batteries upstairs and I'm going to charge them while I sleep. So I plug the V-mount battery on the wall. I go to sleep. My partner comes in later. She unplugged it. She didn't actually know I was plugged because she just saw the cable. She unplugged it and she charged her phone. I wake up in the morning, check my battery. They're not full. I'm like, whoa, you unplugged my battery. And I promise you that was God saving my camera. So when that happened, I also had a lens from Viltrox that Viltrox sent me to review, which was 28mm f1.8, and it's an E-mount. So I messaged a friend of mine that has a Sony a7 series. I say, hey, do you mind getting your Sony camera so I can just go and test this lens? Because in my mind, since I've already shot day 1 and day 2 with the red helium 8K, day 3 is going to be easy. I'm just going to show up with a shoulder rig, Sony a7S Mark II, and then the Atomos Ninja V, because I need to record external 10 bits, if you know, you know, and a few other things that I had. She was cool, you need to come and pick up the camera. So I went to pick up the camera. Everything was pretty much in the backpack, and I pull up to the studio. She said, oh, you here? Yes, I'm here. And then I actually shot the her driving into the studio, right? And then we went inside the studio. I did a few other pickup shots. Mind you, these are the shots that I've already got with my red helium 8K. And then we go outside the studio. I'm like, hey, I am going. She's like, oh, you've not filmed me with me coming into the studio. I'm like, oh, I did that already. She was like, okay, I didn't see it. You must have filmed when I go in because you go here before me, which was actually true because I got there and I saw the car coming and I shot her, even shot her going inside the studio. And then this lady said, no, do you mind doing it again? I'm like, that's fine. So now I take my shoulder rig, my Atomos, and we go outside the studio, right? I am literally like filming her and she's turning the car. She went to reverse as she basically me standing, she come into the studio. And as I'm filming, I can hear someone like running on my left side. As I turn around, I kid you not, I see a knife swinging. I was like, Jesus, I just put the camera like this, using it as a shield. The knife literally like, do you know like the lens hood, the knife tapped on the lens hood and I could see the lens hood falling and I'm like, oh my God. I was screaming, right? There was 2 guys. I run. And then I literally go in the studio compound. And the problem with the studio is that is one of those studio where you basically have to tap in the code. And I'm standing there, the producer is outside and there's 2 more guys outside. And then obviously because I didn't know the code, I had to face the guys. Mind you that 2 guys chasing me with knives and I have my camera and the whole shoulder rig and my backpack and I'm screaming. And this guy come and I swing the camera and then it hit him again with the knife. They hit on the monitor this time and honestly I could see the sparks. I'm like, what is happening? And then the second guy came, I kicked the guy, he fell to the ground, and the other guy literally came as he was about to stab me again. I hit the camera in his face, the whole shoulder rig, the lens and the Ninja V in his face, and the knife literally passed through my my finger and there was like a small cut. And then I ran outside the compound. While I'm running, the car that those guys was in was actually outside. So they noticed that I do have my backpack. So I'm running on the side of the road and the car is chasing me, backpack. And I'm like, nah. So I'm running. And the only thing that actually saved my backpack was because when I threw the camera and ran, those guys was grabbing my camera, and when the car was chasing me, obviously me and the car was literally like this close, but those guys was quite further down. And then there was this other lady driving, she saw the whole thing, she came and almost like about to hit them, and then they turned the car and then went, and she was like, what's happening? I'm like, they just robbed me, they almost stabbed me, rah rah rah. I don't even know, I was talking gibberish. Listen, she was like, yeah, let's call the police. So call the police. By the time I turned around, I saw the guy holding my Ninja V, my camera, Viltrox, everything. And then the lady was like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, can we follow them? Honestly, I was almost like dreaming. It was like a dream sequence. So those guys, they had to run. The police came, they was looking for them everywhere. They could not find a single person. So here's one thing that really kind of like shook me. So by the time I came back to the producer, I'm like, wow. The producer was like, listen, I promise you, when I saw the Rambo knife, I said, listen, I'm not gonna get involved. But before they came to rob you, I saw them on the other side of the road, and the problem is I could not go outside and let you know on time. Sorry, I did not want to come outside just in case this guy have gone. I'm like, bro, you saw them and you did not tell me. She was like, yo, did you not see the knife that they had? Obviously, my adrenaline was kicking in. I'm telling you, I was like, I'm glad I am alive, because the first encounter of the knife, his idea was just to swing the knife and maybe stab me in the neck, because honestly, I pretty much looked as the knife was like this. And I had to pull my camera, and every time when they wanted to stab me, I was basically using my camera and the whole shoulder rig as a shield, and that is what saved me. And this is actually another thing that really annoyed me, right? So the police comes and they're looking around and the cars going everywhere. They could not see them. And the police was like, actually, the good thing is, if you look above, there's like 5 CCTV. We Link Studio, they are the worst studio you can think. Listen, you will die outside and these people will not even care. So let me explain. So basically there was like, oh, police was like, don't worry, there's like 5 cameras on above, and it literally happened under the camera. So don't worry, because we are going to get the footage. I'm like, cool, my hopes are up. And then comes tomorrow, message We Link, nothing. Email We Link, nothing. The police try as well, nothing. And then we come to find out, apparently on the same day that I got attacked, the camera was not working, which is stupid, and honestly I don't even know why. So that's why that's how I lost everything. And honestly, the whole drama of trying to claim the camera through insurance, and then it delayed, and the girl was angry, but the boyfriend was way more angrier than the girlfriend, because she's actually very understanding, and she kind of like posted on Instagram that I rented the camera and robbed the camera, which again, you know how it is. And the best thing about me, honestly, I would rather be quiet than talking about the way I feel about how they spoke about me, because it ended up creating a bigger issue. So again, it ended up being basically me having to pay for the camera with my own money, because the insurance was taking too long. And basically that's how I lost the camera, I lost the monitor, I lost the Viltrox 28mm f1.8, I lost my shoulder rig, I lost my memory cards that was in the camera. I also lost my SSD that was in the Atomos, and also my laptop got broken somehow. It was in my backpack. I don't know what happened, but my laptop also got broken. It must have been when we was fighting or whatever happened. And that is basically the whole story. And I'm just happy that I get to come here and talk about that story to you guys, or share this story with you, because it was going to be worse, you know. And I just got like a tiny like knife piercing through my finger, which was not a big deal. Honestly, it was going to get worse. Like I said, I was literally using the whole shoulder rig thing as a shield, and you know, God always protect his own, and that's how I survived the London get robbed on Knifepoint. And the police honestly tried their best, and they told me there's nothing they can do, and now gave me a crime number, and then later told me, listen, we just have to close the case because we can't find anything. And there's one thing that I'm actually noticing, that the economy and life is getting hard in London. And if you're like those people that just go around and take advantage of innocent people, we also have issues, we also have things that we're dealing with, we also have personal things that are very heavy on our hearts, but we try hard by chasing our passion. And if you decide you're going to see me filming and trying to kill me and take what I have to make yourself happy and just don't care about my life, my future, my passion, my goals, my family, and the people that I love and the people that love me the most, I think honestly there is something wrong with you. And since then, there's two things that I have learned, more than two actually. Number one, always have camera insurance, because trust me, if it's premium, they're going to save you. Number two, which should be number one, always pray. And that day I actually pray, and I always pray when I wake up and say, God, every step that I take, I want you to direct me in the right path. And honestly, on that day, God came through. He saved my red helium AK through my partner who unplugged my the battery thing, the V-mount. He saved my life, because those two Rambo chasing me, honestly, it was not an easy thing. And there's so many people that don't get to survive. There's actually someone that got killed because they stole their phone and they got stabbed in the neck. And obviously there's me that had a camera. Obviously the camera got stolen, and I'm still here sharing this. And then another thing that I've learned since then, do you know when you walk around and you have your phone or you are distracted? I never and will never do that again, because honestly, I understand I was filming. If I had just looked around, I honestly was going to maybe kind of like pay attention to what is in my surrounding, and you can know who's a threat and who is not a threat. And another thing that I've learned, do your research about where you're filming, check the local area, see if there's cameras, and because you never know. And the most important, I am here sharing this story with you lovely people. So guys, that is it. By the way, I had to take a break the whole January because I've got a few projects that I'm doing and just being careful of my life. And now we are back. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Kash, and on this channel, we talk about filmmaking, DaVinci Resolve tutorial, and basically helping you to improve your visual storytelling. And if that's what you're into, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell icon, because you don't want to miss videos like this. Peace.